Your love story should always have a happy ending, even when you're not in the scene. My name is Darius.
And I'm Carmen. In this video, we are going to share with you the top 5 misconceptions with regards to life insurance. But before we jump into the points, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and hit the like button because it significantly helps our channel grow.
Right. Now, people often underestimate the importance of life insurance for several reasons. I know for me, when I was younger, I felt that I was invulnerable. Like I couldn't catch a cold, let alone die. So what I did is I kept pushing life insurance down the street. I kept kicking that can down the road because I felt like I didn't need it. But what I did is I missed the cheapest time that I could have purchased life insurance for my future self right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally get that. And that's, like we said, a common misconception. So if you are young, if you are old, regardless of what it is, you think that you have time. Mm-hmm. And the fact of the matter is none of us have time because we just don't have the crystal ball and knowing when our time is going to come to pass away. Yeah. So not that we're being morbid, we're just trying to have a logical conversation with you and say the time is now to get life insurance because the fact is 50% of Americans do not have life insurance. And that fact is super scary because 100% of Americans are going to die. So that means that only half of y'all have the financial awareness to be able to know that your heirs are going to be covered. Now, the other thing that you need to know is that the 50% who do have life insurance, 30% of those individuals are underinsured, meaning that you don't have enough life insurance to sustain your family's financial needs should something happen. So this is a time where we want everyone to just reevaluate what you got going on because you need a minimum of 10 to 12 times your income in death benefit. So the simple math is if you make $100,000 a year times 10, you need a minimum of $1 million in death benefit to be able to pass on to your beneficiaries.
Right. And what you do with that $1 million is you invest it at 10% interest so that you can actually replace that income in cash flow. Yeah. Now,
that's what you'll teach your beneficiary.
That's what you're going to teach your beneficiary. Now, another thing that I didn't understand is I didn't take in consideration how unpredictable life is. Mm-hmm. Not only the fact that I'm young and I can, jump over the building, like Superman. But the
when have you ever jumped over a building?
But it's just the fact that, again, how unpredictable life is. You may get to a point to where you're not able to get life insurance, knowing well enough how important it is, but you may not be able to get it. Mm-hmm. Now, the only way you can take care of that is if you make the decision early while you're healthy to buy life insurance, and your health isn't always guaranteed.
Absolutely. So this kind of alludes to the second point, which is cost. So there's a lot of confusion around cost. Is it super cheap? Is it super expensive? You shouldn't buy this. You shouldn't buy that. Don't let cost be the reason why you haven't taken action. You can simply click on the link below and take our little quiz, and that will route you to a Wealth Nation agent so we can help you understand your financial needs. And we can help you determine what is going to be the most advantageous product for your needs so that it can fit your budget. Mm-hmm. Now, here is the truth behind the cost misconception that I want to make sure that we debunk. As life insurance agents, now I'm helping you peek behind the curtain a little bit, is that we hear so much that people are like, your life insurance agent's trying to make money from you, or the fees and this and that are so high. What we have to tell you from a business standpoint is that we are not going to oversell you a product that you can't afford. One, because it doesn't do us any benefit, because if you can't afford to keep that product on the books, we are dinged from a business standpoint. The insurance companies start looking at us like, Darius, why are you writing all these policies that don't stay on the books? We're going to close your case and you're not going to be able to sell policies with us anymore, right? So it doesn't behoove us to sell you a product that you can't afford because we need to keep our doors open, right? So if you are feeling like you're working with somebody who isn't aligned with your budget or your goals, whatever you're trying to do, just pick up the phone and call somebody else. There are millions of life insurance agents that would be happy to take your call and happy to serve you and to make sure that you can get your assets and your needs in alignment. So don't let cost be the reason why you haven't taken action, because you need, the number one thing that you need is life insurance to ensure that your income can be sustained.
Now, the alternative to that, let's say you pass away without life insurance and you're not in a financial position, or your family isn't in a financial position to take care of your funeral expenses. Then they have to go into debt. And what happens with debt is you charge interest, which means that they're put further behind the opportunity that they could have realized if they had the life insurance.
Yeah, and this is a real point, and we've been through this. So I don't know if you all know, but we have 2 daughters, and one of them passed. She was 9 months old. And what we didn't understand through this whole funeral expenses process was this is a cash business, folks. They accept check or money order, right? So not a lot of people have disposable income to the tune of 4 figures or 5 figures to be able to bury their loved ones. They're not going to allow you to swipe a credit card, right? So you have to come up with cash in a matter of days in order to make this process happen. And the relief that you could give your family is if you have life insurance, if you have a life insurance policy, they can just deduct the funeral expenses from the death benefit, and that just solves everybody's problems. So you have to take these things into consideration. So what you don't want to happen is be upset about the cost today and not forecast, like Darius was saying, what it could cost your family to be able to bury you just because you didn't take out a life insurance policy. So these are the things that you really need to think about.
Yeah, what was a relief for us is how soon we were able to start the grieving process when our daughter passed away this year. It's the fact that when she passed on a Friday, and by that following Saturday, the funeral director was bringing her ashes to the house. And what that allowed us to do is allowed us to separate from all the family and start our own process of grieving. If you don't have your finances in order, even with your children, that process gets dragged on a lot longer because you may have to do a GoFundMe. I've seen that a lot. And it takes you weeks in order for you to bury your loved ones because you don't have the funds to do it. It gives you a peace of mind when you can get things done and things done in a timely manner, because it's a process of dealing with the loss of a loved one.
Absolutely.
And money is the last thing you want to think about.
Last thing you want to think about. If anything, you want to breathe a sigh of relief knowing that everything is in place, like you said. So the third point that we want to talk about is complexities and lack of understanding when it comes to life insurance. And we know this, we see it all the time, and it frustrates us so much why there's so many different camps out there talking about buy term or whole life is this or IULs or that. And this, it's like everyone is against each other. And that shouldn't be the case, because at the end of the day, we're just trying to sell life insurance to ensure that your family has, again, financial security. So if you don't understand the different products, again, just click on the link below or align with another life insurance agent that you feel is going to give you the education that you need and knows the products well enough to be able to sell you the right product, right? Because it's just all about letting the complexities go and realizing, okay, this is what I'm trying to do. Let me match up a product that's going to do the exact same thing that I need. So don't feel overwhelmed. This doesn't have to be intimidating. You just have to find the right person that you're going to vibe with to make sure that they're going to be with you in this journey for your entire life. Because that's the other thing that people don't realize is as life insurance agents, we are your agent for your entire life, right? Because we have to service your policy for as long as you live. So this, again, is another thing that we have to consider when we are building our business, is we are choosing the clients that we want to be able to serve for your entire life.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why we need to understand like your finances like right now, because life insurance, as far as the cost, kind of going back to the last point, is it can be from $5 to $500,000 depending on your income. And what you have to do is make sure that you have a product that can grow along with your income and your investments and the assets and the savings and everything that you have. Now, the complexity of it is the reason why you want to make sure you have your financial advisor or a financial or insurance agent, so that they can go along with you as your income changes. As your income changes, because insurance, it is complex. That's why you need a specialist. Buying a house is complex. That's why you need a real estate agent. Buying a car can be complex. That's why you need a car salesman. You have specialists for a reason to help you through these different situations.
And I'm so glad you brought up the cost and a policy that can grow with you. That's one of the main reasons why we say 30% of the people who have insurance, 30% of the 50% of America who has insurance, is because typically, and this is just a blanket statement, typically they buy one insurance product and the death benefit doesn't grow. It just stays stagnant. I buy $1 million death benefit and that's it. But what happens is your income keeps increasing, right? And you still have this $1 million death benefit, but you haven't gotten more insurance to replace the additional income that you have. So this is why we're just saying, take a moment, reevaluate where you are so you can make the right decision.
Yeah, a good example of that would be like for us, we would buy term insurance. We buy term insurance and then convert it to whole life later because we don't want to lose that life insurance because it's only for a certain term.
Yeah.
We can allow those funds to grow along, or our income to grow along with our life insurance policy, and convert our term to whole life at a later date.
Yeah, when it makes sense too. So the fourth point that we want to talk about is procrastination. So Darius talked about, kicking the can down the road. Procrastination happens. And again, this is something that we want to stop now because we just don't know what's going to happen. We never in a million years thought that we were going to bury a 9-month-old child. So this is where you have to let reality set in and think about your environment. If something were to happen to me today, what is that going to mean to my spouse, to my children, to my parents, to my siblings, and get in gear? Because, for a term product, you could get something very quickly to ensure that you check that box. Whole life insurance, you could also get something within a reasonable time frame. It's just a little bit more not intensive is the right word, but the process takes a little bit longer because with a whole life insurance product, we're insuring your entire life. So the insurance companies are going to ask you just a few more questions to make sure that they can keep your policy on the books.
Yeah, I think people often, what they do is they prioritize other financial commitments over life insurance.
Totally.
But they don't understand, or a lot of times we don't understand that life insurance is a part of, or a crucial part of your financial plan. And with the experience that we've had over the time that we've been in this financial space is there isn't a wealthy person that we've met that didn't have life insurance. That life insurance wasn't a part of their plan.
Yeah.
It's the people that misunderstand it, that feel like they don't have money, don't have life insurance. And that's two things that shouldn't go together. You don't have money and you don't have life insurance, because if you don't have money, that means you have a lot of bills, you have a lot of debt, potentially that your family is going to inherit the debt and not the money.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to slide point number 5 into this because I think it all relates. But point number 5 is the misconception about wealth and savings.
Yeah.
So kind of going back to what you were saying, what we find a lot of times is people say, oh, well, my investments are going to, help my heirs should something happen to me. But what we don't understand with investments is sometimes there's going to be tax implications when we transfer assets to other parties. But life insurance is the only asset class where your death benefit passes tax-free and you don't have to worry about probate. Right? So you don't have to worry about the transfers. You don't have to worry about trusts and all these other things that may or may not be in place. Life insurance is going to be the seed money for your investments to ensure that your investments can continue to fund and cash flow and they can get more. So don't just rely on your investments and think that that's going to be the end all be all. You absolutely need another saving grace, which is going to be life insurance, because that is the only thing that is, again, going to be guaranteed to pay out when you pass.
Right. Now, a lot of times, like to your point, savings account, the real estate investments that they have, the retirement account, 401k, those things can get caught up in probate. And depending on how long it takes, what funds are you going to have to sustain that income that you were bringing in the meantime?
Yeah. And probate can last years.
Yeah.
So don't just think, oh, it'll be a few. No, years. This can be a process.
And if you don't want to take our word for it, you can go to your courthouse, because probate is a part of public record, and you can see all the things that are stuck in probate, because you can buy it from people and they often sell it at a discount rate so they can have the funds. So don't put yourself or your family in that situation.
Absolutely. So to wrap this all up, what Darius and I were saying is, long story short, just reevaluate, folks. I can't tell you enough how many times we have had to submit death claims for our clients, and their families have been so grateful for the fact that we have been able to service their family throughout this whole process because they had a plan in place. Don't let you be on the other side of things wishing that you could have done something else. So today, make the decision. We would love to serve you, or whomever that you prefer to work with. We just want to make sure that we give you the education so that you can take action. You don't have to work with us. We just want to make sure that you get covered so that we can start helping close that 50% gap to ensure that one day 100% of America will have life insurance.
Right. So if you're ready to get started with a life insurance policy for your specific needs, make sure you click on the link below so you can take our quiz and we can suggest the best policy for you. If you want more information, click on our next video where we talk about the 7 benefits of whole life insurance.
And don't forget to own your own lifestyle.
Or someone else will.
Maybe probate.